Let's go.
It's your back, it dey keep passing. It dey bring out the best thing. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you die.
What's happening, people? We got a new episode of Awesome Entertainment. It's Joel Awesome. All right, we got terrible news. It says Marvel star never coming back to the MCU again. The fuck? Marvel Cinematic Universe has offered a host of thrilling films and TV shows led by, all right, y'all, I'm going to skip over the time wasting. All right, I'm going to skip over the filler. This ain't your class. You don't need all that filler to hit your word mark. All right, Michael Peña. His name is Peña. They got his name wrong this entire article. It is Peña. Is there an N with the N? Yeah, I mean, where is y'all culture at? Anyway, according to trusted industry insider Michael Rickman, I don't even know if you could trust his article if you got his name wrong throughout the entire thing. It's Peña, but they put Michael Peña. I've always posed the word so y'all can see that, you know, I ain't lying. Won't be back in Marvel Studios movie anytime soon, or well, ever. The scooper, who has history of reliable Marvel scoops, shared a tweet celebrating the actor's birthday, adding in the comments, he's never coming back to the MCU. Not sure what happened. What the fuck? My article. Hold on. And it just tripped out on me. Where was I at? What this report has left fans surprised. While this report has left fans surprised, it would also line up with the character's recent mysterious absence in the MCU. See, Peña, I can't even read this, man. They got his name wrong. Appears in the Ant-Man movies, so the question is apparent his departure, the reason for that. And honestly, he was a little bit annoying in the first movie, but he grows on you. He grows on you, and his explanation and his rambling actually becomes funny and an integral part of the show. It's probably some of the best parts and some of the funniest stuff in Ant-Man is with him. And I feel like that was one of the things that hurt that third movie, that third Ant-Man. If you know anything about me, that was trash. That was the Quantumania was terrible. And one of the reasons why it was terrible because it was missing the homie. It was missing T.I. and the other dude, the Baba Yaga dude. Like, anyway, now to be fair, the third Ant-Man movie saw the Ant family pulled into the quantum realm, which immediately set it apart from his predecessor. So audience simply understood that Lewis wouldn't be part of the story as he wasn't in the alternate world with him. He was on the outside, unaware that they had even disappeared into for a short while, and therefore Scott Lang, Hope Van Dyne, Cassie Lang, Janet Van Dyne, and Hank Pym had to fight Kang the Conqueror without his guidance. And honestly, even if you don't use him in the next Ant-Man, the way y'all use Darcy, like Darcy was in the Thor movies, then she was like in WandaVision for a little while. Y'all could have a cameo. I think she's part of Sword now, maybe. You could have did something with that, you could have did more with him. That being said, a case could easily have been made for a cameo appearance for Peña's Lewis. Scott spent more than enough time in the outside world before and after his trip to the quantum realm, so fans would argue that this is where he could have seen the fan favorite. After all, part of Lewis' charm are the hilarious, never-ending ad-lib monologues. Is he ad-libbing that whole thing? Yeah. So as long as they're one of those, you just need one. You need one rambling moment. And if you look at the Thor movies, Thor would react, at least the last Thor movie, Love and Thunder. They had a little play with Matt Damon, and he was reacting the other Thor movie, the third one. I think you could have had him do something like that where he's explaining what happened in the last movie and the new movie, you know, just quickly rambling through it. Like, that's what he do. It would be, it'd be a mistake to keep Lewis from the MCU together. While it remains unclear that he wouldn't return to the MCU, it might have less to do with him and more to do with Marvel's altered plans for Ant-Man. After Quantumania struggled at the box office and received generally negative reviews because it was trash, the studio overhauled its plans for the multiverse saga, reportedly canceling a number of risky projects, one of those being the planned Ant-Man 4. While Ant-Man himself will always have a place in the MCU, yes, Paul Rudd will be in Doomsday to reprise his role. That doesn't leave many opportunities for his team of experts to join him. After all, Lewis didn't appear in Avengers movies when he was apart from the MCU. Look, I don't know if you can recover Ant-Man. And I think, it'd be cool to have a fourth movie if you was going to do it right. And you're going to like, we're going to get it right this time. But you might still not make money. Even if it's right, people might already gave up on the franchise. You might need to do a special presentation with Ant-Man. Like the Punisher and Werewolf by Night. That way you can start building some fans back up and trusting it. It's no surprise that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is considered the worst of the three Ant-Man movies, while this particularly sub-franchise of the MCU has always been considered a palate cleanser, offering up lighthearted and enjoyable content after more serious central MCU stories. The third installment was more of a traditional MCU film. No, it wasn't. It was trash. That meant that the lighthearted tone was gone. The genuinely witty heists were nowhere to be seen, and the innovative camera work when it became to Scott's Ant-Man abilities were replaced with bland CGI landscapes. Exactly. Though everything about Ant-Man was not in the movie. That's why he didn't do no burglary, and he didn't really even shrink that much. He shrank to get the thing where he saw a bunch of himself, but that was a bunch of non-action action where it's just like him running around, but there was actually no fighting or anything going on. That was the problem with that movie. Taking all into account, it would be a mistake for Marvel to say goodbye to Lewis altogether. Of course, if Peña has decided not to return, that's one thing. But if the MCU has actively moved on from the character altogether, that's a huge mistake. The character is a fan favorite who is at least partially responsible for making the first two Ant-Man movies so enjoyable. That is a fact. He is part of the reason those were good movies. It wouldn't be right to ignore him and going forward. After all, Ant-Man is the sum of his parts, which is why he functions so much better in those two movies. It's not just about Scott, it's about his family, his whole family. Yes. If Peña has a busy schedule, that's more understandable, but at some point in time, a cameo from Lewis would certainly make Marvel fans days. We can accept that there might not be another Ant-Man movie, therefore there might no longer be need for Lewis full time. But if the studio was able to get the character to show up, deliver one of his fantastic unhinged monologues, any project would be better off for it. That is a fact. But it didn't actually say why. Like, it only said that that Marvel scooper Daniel Rickman said he's never coming back to the MCU. Not sure what happened. What kind of scoop is that? How do you even know that? If you don't know what happened, how you know he ain't coming back? Maybe he said it. Maybe he talked to the dude. But, I mean, you got to bring him back, man. You got to bring him back. Pay the man his money. It's certainly true that Michael Peña will never be in the MCU again. Evidently, AI is not too keen on how to use a tilde. I don't even know what that means. The AI couldn't figure out how to handle the Enya. That's what it was. Yeah, so pretty sure his name is Michael Peña, not Michael Peña. Wow, y'all got caught red-handed. I be crashing out because I'm like, are they using AI to write these articles? Yes. It couldn't do the Inye because the AI is racist and doesn't know Espanol. That's what it is. I said, oh, so y'all couldn't do the little accent mark. Tilde, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So they really wrote that motherfucker with AI. And people getting paid off this shit. Hire me. I could be a journalist and type some prompt into AI and tell them to say it. What in the hell? And the whole article, his name is wrong. And I was like, I thought this man's name was Michael Peña. I thought I knew his name. I had to go back and look it up. And when I went to look up for the picture in the background, that's when I found out. Like, yo, no, this man is not Pia. Who is Pia? Who is Michael P? That's Michael P. He pushing P out here. Wow. Y'all tripping with this AI shit, man. Like, I don't get it because you let it write the article, but you didn't even skim? You didn't skim the article? Wow. Wow. Either way. Why the fuck would we believe this? You know what I mean? You didn't even have the right name. You ain't talking about the right guy. I'm sorry. Either way, I don't care. But either way, man, bring Buddy back. Michael Peña, bring them all back, man. Fuck it. Y'all hit like, y'all hit share, y'all hit subscribe, man. I'm out. I'm gonna go write an AI article.
Don't play with my patience, man. They gone with the flow when they trying to fake it. That's not the way I roll, that's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man. Don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip. Ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's